This is your Weather Xtreme video for Monday, June the 30th, the last day of June. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Wow, hard to believe we're closing out the first half of 2014. There's a look at the Skycam network from ABC 3340 and the Gadsden Skycam showing a few clouds off to the east. And at Fayette, the streets are quiet and the skies are clear. High pressure is over the eastern half of the country, but we have both the frontal system approaching from the northwest and a weak tropical disturbance off the east coast of Florida. And those are combining with the removal of the upper shortwave that has been kind of muddling the forecasts across the southeastern U.S. for the last week or so. The pattern becoming more of a ridging, and so we're going to see warming for the next couple of days, as well as a reduction in the showers. Temperatures starting the day off this morning, generally in the lower 70s. A few spots still getting into the upper 60s, but for the most part, a rather warm morning. We can see a reflection in the overall radar image of showers over the northeast section. That's in response to that weak short wave. The forecast for precipitation, is focused on both the front approaching from the northwest and the tropical system off the east coast of Florida. And Storm Prediction Center outlooking a moderate risk for parts of Iowa, Illinois, and northern Missouri for today. And yesterday, quite a few storms in the moderate risk area centered primarily on Iowa. And even a few wind reports, mostly isolated down trees across parts of Georgia and southeast Tennessee and extreme northeast Alabama. Slight risk day 2 for Tuesday moves down into the Ohio River Valley and edges from Arkansas up across Kentucky and into the eastern Great Lakes. And then on day 3, there's no specific slight risk area, but we do have a couple of sea-techs, including on the mid-Atlantic coast and around our area. The tropics have been a little more active, and there's a look at the satellite image. The area off the east coast of Florida is still somewhat disorganized. Computer models suggesting that it will stay that way as it meanders off the east coast of Florida for several days before finally gradually moving off to the north and the northeast along and right just offshore of the U.S. coast. This could become Arthur, and we'll certainly have to be watching for that. In the meantime, we do have a complicated weather pattern. Let's get into modeling, and there's the forecast for today, and GFS, I think, settling on the better shower chances to be generally east and northeast of the Birmingham area. The upper air pattern, we're coming under more of a ridge, so I think we stay dry in the western sections. And precipitable water is often helpful. It's not always the solution, but precipitable water value is definitely down a little bit today, and that should help to keep any showers pretty isolated. By Tuesday, the approach of the trough off to the northwest, plus that weak tropical system, in the northern Bahamas and off the east coast of Florida, will keep our forecast somewhat complicated. But I think Tuesday will be essentially a dry day across our area, and one of the reasons for that is the precipitable water value is dropping quite a bit. We see the front approach on Wednesday, and Wednesday into Thursday, and that trough moving on down into the central U.S., the central Mississippi River Valley. And interesting to note that on the 2nd, which is Wednesday, we see precipitable water values climb back up just a little bit ahead of that front. So I think we see the possibility of some showers. We see that trough move into the area on Thursday, but we also have the tropical system off the South Carolina coast. And the combination of the two is interesting because the front should increase shower chances. But at the same time, the tropical system is going to be producing some sinking motion, and we generally get that off, just a couple hundred miles to the west and northwest of the tropical center. So the bottom line here is it looks like that while the front gets down into the area, we could see, while not an air mass change, we certainly could see some drier air, as you can see from precipitable water values on the 3rd. And so that should mean that while we can't rule out the possibility of showers, that it might actually end up, even with the front coming, which should enhance showers, with the sinking motion from the tropical system. So stay tuned. That's definitely what's going to be happening. That shortwave moves off by across Kentucky and over into the mid-Atlantic states, and we see it picking up the tropical system off basically off the Carolina coast and the Outer Banks. And so that is where we would expect to see the tropical system at the surface, high pressure moving in across the Great Lakes. By the time we get out to Saturday, the ridge is beginning to build as the upper low reflecting out into the, or moving out into the Atlantic, moves on away from the coast, and that moves on out, well out into the Atlantic on Sunday. So we begin to see a bit of a return to showers, isolated showers across the area. And then on Monday, the 7th, we begin to see the approach of another weak shortwave. So no rest for the weary. And looking out into Voodoo country, basically, how do you spell ridge? H-I-G-H or R-I-D-G-E? Just being a little cute there. Not too cute. And we see the ridge building very strong up into the central U.S. by the 15th of July. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this Monday. Thanks for staying tuned to the weather blog. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Tuesday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for notes on the changing weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.